Hello, my name is Andrew Thake from Minds and Money. Delighted to have with us today Adrian Rothwell, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Angold Resources. Delighted to have you with us today, Adrian.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
So opening question is, on your website, you say that Angold Resources are exploring in the shadow of giants. What do you mean by that?
Well, when we talk about that in our sector, really it refers to where are historic mines and where are the ounces found around the world. And, the best place to find new ounces in the ground is around existing mines. And so it's a little bit of that philosophy. And really, we've got a bit of a strategy to create longer term value through multi-jurisdictional assets, focusing on precious metals and acquiring high quality historic resources that can withstand, we hope, multiple business cycles. So, part of that is we know there's gold in the ground on our assets because there has been historic exploration work in the past, and we're targeting these assets to try and grow them to 1 million plus ounces, particularly in North America and Chile. We think those two jurisdictions in our future world are going to be two of the most important jurisdictions to us in the Americas.
Mm-hmm. So what key catalysts and milestones can we see from Angold Resources over the next, say, 6 to 12 months?
Yeah, good question. Well, everyone knows it's dark times in the industry and everyone's trying to conserve cash right now. So we will be doing a little bit of that and conserving what we have as our operating capital to try and last us for good markets to raise further capital. We're in the exploration business. We're going to be raising capital in the future. However, we've balanced that with good quality work. We will have, I mean, what have we got going on right now? So we've got our permitting at Dorado. We have submitted the DIA to the regulatory agencies in Chile. The DIA, for those that haven't heard this before, is similar to a plan of operations on exploration for drilling on our flagship Dorado project. Plan of operations is what you would call it in the United States. Chile, it's a DIA. It allows us carte blanche within our Lajitas and Lajitas South project areas where we drilled last year. We made the discoveries that if you go to our past news releases that you'll see at Lajitas South. Essentially, it's an epithermal and porphyry gold center that is drill ready now. And we drilled Dorado at the Lajitas historic resource and expanded that mineralization envelope with our flagship hole of 302 meters of 0.71 grams per ton. So that's been worked on. And what does that mean? Well, that means we have done a lot of work around ESG, around meeting with communities, with environmental studies, flora, fauna, water and air, and noise, things like that, so that we're able to access our project in a very responsible manner. So you'll see some news on that coming up. We have been drilling the Iron Butte project in Nevada as well. And for those closer to the Angold story, they'll know that hasn't been without its difficulties. And, we started with a core rig, and that achieved the goals we wanted to achieve with core. We swapped that to an RC rig as soon as one became available earlier in the year. And, long story short, we've completed drilling there 2 weeks ago. And we will be expecting our assay results to come out by the end of this month. That's what we're hoping. So we're in the hands of our assay lab on that. We've also got our Canadian project, Uchi, and I haven't talked a lot about that. It's in the Butte Uchi district. It's very early stage, almost 7,000 hectares. So large property package. And contiguous on our eastern side with what you would call the Uchi Trend. It's a series of Archean greenstone gold, smaller mines, but we've just completed a 3,000 sample soil gas hydrocarbon survey on that part of the project that follows up from the VTEM survey we did in the past. So our objective is on all our projects is really to get them advanced to becoming drill ready. And depending on the markets, we're poised and ready to drill on multiple projects. And the hard part for us is sequencing that in the right way. So best use our capital.
So you've got a great strategy, great geology, great ESG credentials. Tell me a little bit about your experience and the experience of your management team.
Sure. Well, I've been in the sector since 1995, and my background is finance and essentially accounting in my earlier years. I've worked across many junior companies on the fiscal governance role, whether that be running their regulatory reporting in my earlier days through to chief financial officer of a number of companies later. I did do a pivot in my career and went and worked with Goldcorp, now Newmont, as the director of strategy and helping Goldcorp at the time invest. There was a lot involved in the job, but essentially it was about how do you become more competitive in M&A and invest in earlier stage projects. So I've done that, and since then, since end of 2015, I've been chief executive officer of a number of juniors. So I've seen multiple cycles. And I know as bad as this cycle is looking to be, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and accompanying me on the team, I've got a very, very competent board in Galen McNamara. He's the CEO of, he's chairman of the company, CEO of Suma Silver. Brandon Bonifacio comes from a mining family, very familiar. He's a mining engineer. And he's the CEO of NevGold. They're very supportive. Ronnie Zimmerman, he is a well-respected Canadian, Chilean resource lawyer based out of Santiago, Chile. So he's helping us on our Chilean projects. And essentially, Ronnie does a great job of helping us keep our costs down, operating in a jurisdiction that ordinarily is very, very expensive. In terms of management in the company, Ken Coleman, he's an Elko-based geologist and very familiar with the Iron Butte project, and certainly our new acquisition at Hope Butte. And I want to say just a brief mention on that. With our strategy, there's a little bit of build ounces in the ground, but also buy. And this was in times like this is a great opportunity for low cost acquisitions. And we probably don't have time to go into Hope Butte today, but rest assured, it is a project that is high quality and will become a welcome part of our portfolio for the future. And then in Chile, Yemo Peralta is another geologist. And very experienced in the Maricunga region. And he's really the one stick handling our permit applications and our ground programs on Cordillera and Dorado. So great team.
Yeah, great team. How much skin do they have in the game?
Management in Angold has around just under 20%, and
Mhm.
close friends and family would be another 20%. So we got a lot of skin in the game, especially compared to some juniors. And personally, I've got around 5% of the shares of the company. I have bought those shares, and certainly look forward to building this company to a bigger, better, faster, stronger share price.
And just kind of one final question: if there's, for the investors who are listening in, I'm sure they're obviously looking at investing in Angold, but they may have other,
Yeah.
similar-ish mining companies on their shortlist. Why should they choose you? What would be your 30-second elevator pitch as to what makes you stand out?
Right on the spot. When you invest in a junior, you're really investing in a team that can adapt to market conditions. I think that's number one. They can pivot when they need to pivot, and that's number two. And you're looking at projects in that are quality, that are showing economic grades for gold mineralization, or mineralization if it's not gold. And we certainly have that on all of our projects. And you're looking at jurisdictions that are going to be in a world that is going to be extremely volatile in the future. You're looking at jurisdictions that are either close to home or relatively safe. And we believe that we are in 3 of the best jurisdictions in the world, not just the Americas, in Canada, the United States, and Chile.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Adrian. That was Adrian Rothwell, President and Chief Executive Officer of Angold Resources. Thank you for your time, Adrian.
Thank you.